So it's June and it's Pride Month, and a question I get asked a lot about from my clients is, how did I become so involved in the LGBTQ community? How did I become this national expert in same-sex green card marriage cases, same-sex fiancé visas? And it's a long story. I can't do it all now, but a little background about me. So, I've always identified as bisexual, but that's not what propelled me to get involved in LGBTQ activism. I was going to high school in the late 1990s, and I just really felt at the time that the civil rights movement of my generation was going to be around LGBTQ issues, about marriage equality, same-sex adoption, that these issues were kind of my generation's civil rights movements. And I got really, really involved in activism starting in high school, and especially when I was in Boston College, where I went to undergrad. It's a Catholic university, and a bunch of us students wanted to change our non-discrimination policy to include sexual orientation. And the university was really, really against it because of the Catholic roots, right? And we did a referendum, right? We did a vote, and the student body voted overwhelming, like 75-80%, to change the non-discrimination policy. But the administration still didn't want to do it, and that started a huge battle. That was documented in the Boston Globe and the Boston Herald. It was a big story in Boston because Boston College is such a prominent university. And I was one of the people leading that movement, and we marched down Commonwealth Avenue in Boston with thousands of students, chanting for equal rights. And we were able to do it. We were able to change the non-discrimination policy. And that was kind of my first taste of making a big change like that, and I loved it. And so as I got into law school, I continued to work on my activism. And eventually, when I became an immigration lawyer, I started seeing how unfair it was in the context of immigration law that people that loved each other so much couldn't be together. And I ended up falling in love with a wonderful man from South Africa, who's still my husband to this day, 17 years later. But and I used to think, when I did his green card petition, I was the U.S. citizen petitioning for him, that it would be so unfair if he was a woman instead, and that I couldn't keep him here in the U.S. with me. And that just drove me so much to want to help my clients. And then when I started working on, LGBTQ asylum cases for, gay, lesbians, transgender individuals, I just got so much satisfaction being to help someone. And so this is something that I've done forever. It's so part of me, and it's something I will never stop. I'm currently the chair of the LGBTQ committee for the local chapter of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and I love